It's 8 years since we've seen the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars at Killarney International Raceway, and what a welcome return. A nice field, and a big field of V8 Supercars about to go to battle here for the first time in 8 years. The Rolling Thunder is back in the mother city. It's Julian Familiaris who is looking for a chance now to come through from the back of the field as Mackie Adlam and Terry Wilford hold on to the front of this pack of Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. Thomas Reeb and Franco D'Amato, the Italian stallion behind that. Warren Lombard and Rolf Duplessis ahead of David Kutsia and Sam Dahl. Bevan Schwartz and Andre De Lange making up this big field. The Rousseau man at the back, probably not getting to grips with the circuit as well as what he'd hoped to, but definitely got a turn of pace that may get him through the field. And watch out for big action between the front contenders. Mackie Adlam, of course, coming from 4 back-to-back titles in this category, certainly knows what to do in a V8 Supercar to win championships. And Terry Wilford, an ex-champion, looking for a chance to possibly take that number 2 off his car and turn the 21 into the number 1 for 2022. Thomas Reeb was so close to a championship last year. It all went wrong in the last 2 events, and unfortunately he lost out his opportunity to take that number 1 plate away from Mackie Adlam. And Franco D'Amato, of course, has won some V8 Supercar championships in his day in the Daltec batteries. Italian stallion, that black Jaguar, synonymous with the Italian stallion, and certainly a car to be reckoned with. Warren Lombard comes into his 4th season with V8 Supercars now, and certainly knows what to do in a big V8, having spent a bit of time in the past in big V8 AC Cobras. As they come down here, of course, Mobil 1 is the main sponsor that's taken over a long-standing relationship with previous sponsorships that have been involved in this category, and now coming into a long-standing relationship with these V8 Supercars as well, as David Kutsia looks to get through with Sam Dahl. Let's wait and see now as Mackie Adlam will dictate the pace down towards turn 1. A bit of catch up there for Bevan Schwartz and Andre De Lange. And at the back, remember, Julian Familiaris coming through from the back of the pack, also out of the D'Amato Racing stable. Lights are out and we're racing. And it's dropping the hammer coming out of Mackie Adlam towards turn 1. Mobil 1 V8 Supercars into turn 1, KFM corner. David Kutsia already starting to apply early pressure onto the back end of Rolf Duplessis. Rolf Duplessis taking a little bit of a slightly different line through turn 1, trying to close onto the back end of his good friend there, Franco D'Amato. D'Amato already onto the inside and under pressure from the outside of turn 2 from Warren Lombard. Lombard having a fantastic start, but he just loses out ever so slightly, and Rolf Duplessis has a big look, but he slams that big V8 door into Duplessis' face. Big maneuver there from Warren Lombard to fend off the intentions of the Ultimate Raceway machine of Rolf Duplessis. Adlam out front, it is Terry Wilford in 2nd and Reeb up to 3rd. That's how things start out as they go through Car Care Clinic Malmesbury. Bevan Schwartz diving through on the inside and possibly just outgunning one of the cars in the back there. I'm not quite sure who it was, but down onto the braking markers now for turn number 5, Fostron corner. And the Mobil 1 V8's now in full flight. It'll take about a lap for the tyres to come up to full race temperature, but once they are, the grip with these big fat tackies is certainly incredible. And that's why we're going to see big lap times from these cars as well. Hopefully some of the fastest laps of the weekend coming out of the V8 Supercars. 9 to go as they cross the line and complete that first lap in anger. Adlam from Wilford, Reeb from D'Amato, and Reeb fending off the intentions there of Franco D'Amato as he looks to go on the inside of turn 2. Very, very close stuff there. There's an opportunity. Oh, and it's opened up the door there from Thomas Reeb. Came with a slightly late apex into turn 2, which then forced D'Amato to come out of it. D'Amato definitely had a look though. Not too far off the back end there of Thomas Reeb's Chevrolet. He's one of the only Chev cars on track there, of course, the Chev Lumina. We've got a Jag out front. It's a Ford Mustang in 2nd. Ford Falcon, I beg your pardon, in 2nd. Terry Wilford, beg your pardon. There's another Chev powered machine there, the Corvette of Rolf Duplessis. David Kutsia fighting there in the Mustang. And then as they head down towards the braking markers again, there's an opportunity. This time out, I think D'Amato might have the inside line, might have the opportunity to squeeze out the 9 car. And has he been able to do that? Yes, he has. Oh, wow. Battle there between D'Amato and Thomas Reeb heating up, and D'Amato winning things out in turn 5, Fostron corner. They come across the line, another lap completed here, and now all of a sudden, we're seeing Warren Lombard start to close in on the back end of this battle between Reeb and D'Amato. D'Amato winning that battle at the moment though, as he just got through and now makes it Jaguars 1 and 3. Coming up onto the braking point there for Terry Wilford, trying to close things down. Also some big maneuvers here coming out of the Falcon. of Warren Lombard. Ford Falcon all over the back now of Thomas Reeb. So Reeb could be in trouble. He lost a little bit of ground coming out of turn 2 there. Didn't quite get the drive he wanted, but certainly looking pretty good out there. Pace Car Rental on the side of that. That's a new sponsor there for Warren Lombard. He's normally with the Pep Boys Automotive Squad, and they're still doing all the preparation on his car, of course, but Pace Car Rental on the side gives him a new bit of livery. Nice to see him going with a slightly different color in the car as well. Adlam, as I said, 4-time champion in this category. Ex-champion behind him in Terry Wolford in the Fuchs Falcon. And as they come out of that one, flying towards turn number 1 again to complete another lap. We're going to go 7 to go for these guys. Mackie Adlam, Terry Wolford, Franklin Mateo, Thomas Reeb, and Warren Lombard. The first 5 cars on track now, pulling away from the 6th car of David Kutsia. The LKSA Comp and Adlam Auto Racing man, David Kutsia, sitting down in 6th place. Sam Dahl just behind them, and Bevan Schwartz, of course, comes from East London if I'm not mistaken. Bevan Schwartz now up into 8th place. Rolfie Duplessis with some problems, he's dropped down to 9th, and Andre De Lange still in the 10th spot there in the Roof Sure Ford Mustang. Right, across in towards Damps one more time. Flying through there, and Terry Wolford now starting just to put a little bit of extra pressure onto the back end of Adlam. Adlam hasn't really been troubled at this point in time, but I think Terry Wolford might be waiting for a bit later on in the race to try his overtaking maneuver. Doesn't want to go too soon. If he goes too soon, unfortunately, there's enough time on track for these guys to come back at him. And maybe he wants to time it to perfection to get that overtaking maneuver done so that he can stay in contention for the win and not have to give it up at the end. It's the first heat of Mobil 1 V8 Supercars that we're seeing now. Remember, as we're into the thick of it right now, we go straight into the G&H Transport Extreme Supercars second heat of the day after this. This is where it's all about right now as Adlam goes onto the brakes. Look at Terry Wolford. Wow, was he late on the brakes there. Wolford exceptionally late on the brakes. Try and stay in this hunt at the front for this one. Wolford closing things down now, looking for a chance to get ahead of Adlam. He's realizing that getting into the halfway stage of this race, it might be time to turn the wick up, so to give him a run for his money. Stepping out of his role as the chairman of the association that runs this category, Wolford, and concentrating on his race career this week and this year. Possibly it's a big maneuver there from him that's changed up his whole race face and the attitude behind the racing coming to Terry Wolford. He certainly has got a great demeanor behind the race car wheel. And if he can concentrate on actual racing and not having to worry about the admin of the sport, that might help him out a huge amount. It certainly looks like it's doing that right now as they get under braking for Fostron corner again. So it's the Adlam Auto Jaguar XKR out front ahead of the Ford Falcon, sponsored by Fuchs, with Wolford behind the wheel. Deltec Batteries Jaguar, the Black Cat in full flight as well there, sitting in 3rd place just ahead of Thomas Reeb. The Mobil 1 Chev Lumina, the Pace Car Rental Ford Falcon of Warren Lombard's in 5th. Driving in from Terry Wolford, the pressure's certainly on Adlam now. He's got a lot closer as they come under braking for turn 2. With these big V8s, of course, you have to try and do it under braking. They are so evenly matched in terms of power and straight line speed. The overtaking maneuvers have to happen under braking, and that's exactly what Terry Wolford is trying to catch Adlam out on. Not always easy to do when you've got a 4-time champion in front of you. You certainly know exactly where to place that car so that Wolford can't do any of those outbraking maneuvers. The one cool thing that you'll see on the track as well, which doesn't apply to this class anymore, the white lines that were painted down the middle, there's an example of one right there, do not apply. But of course, in the old days, when we had big fields of V8 supercars and of course the modified saloon cars at one point in time, you had to decide as a driver which side of that white line you would go to. So a little bit of history there as they go past them and take no notice of them anymore, because that doesn't apply anymore. Thomas Reeb trying to close down on his ex-stablemate there, the Italian stallion, Franco Matteo. Just not able to bridge that gap. Currently lapping 13 deads coming out of Mackie Adlam. 12.9 out of Wolford, so certainly the fastest car on track is the man in second. Now, second place and fastest car on track right now is Wolford. Di Matteo also in the 12.9s. And in fact, Di Matteo goes slightly quicker by about 3 thousandths of a second between himself and Terry Wolford, trying to close that gap down. Still no change for fourth. Still no change for fifth as well. Reeb and Lombard. Could see her all on his own down in sixth. We haven't seen a lot of him, but he is there still in sixth place ahead of Schwartz. He's moved up to seventh. Bevan Schwartz, what a run there from him. Up to seventh place ahead of Sam Dahl and Wolf Duplessis. Kalanga in the 10th spot and Familiaris. Doesn't look like he's completed a lap. I think he might have had a problem on that first lap and pulled in. Down towards turn 5, Fostron corner again. Mackie Adlam using the banking, trying to run the speed and keep the corner speed of that car. Gets good drive out of that banked turn at Cape Town. And now looks to try and get the speed down the main straight. Porsche straight, of course, towards the KFM corner. Oh, what a lacquer shot there. Low angle of these V8s in full flight. That's about 220 k's an hour as they climb on the brakes at the bottom end. So going past that shot that we've got there on the pit wall, it's probably about 200 k's an hour as the V8s come flying through. If you're standing on the wall, the whole wall actually physically shakes as these big bangers come flying past you. It's incredible. Come now under braking for turn 2 yet again. Wilford applying the pressure onto the back end of Mackie Adlam. Adlam just soaking it up for now. No problems at all there for Mackie Adlam as he just controls things from the front. Adlam Auto in control at the front end. I can see some back markers who could potentially come into play just up the road there. Thomas Reeb still in the 4th spot in the Mobil 1 Chev Lumina. See a beautiful tablecloth on Table Mountain in the background of that shot as they go onto the back straight. Coming up on the back end of one of the back markers there. Not sure who that was actually, that came through there. Get into the mix here again with not only the first and second cars, but third and fourth about to come past that back marker as well. As we get that low angled shot again. Down towards turn 1. Thomas Reeb a lot closer onto the back end of Franco Di Matteo now. Di Matteo could be in a bit of pressure into the closing stages. We've got 2 to go. 2 laps to go for these guys. Coming out of the kink, Adlam controlling things. Oh, there's definitely a lot more pressure coming from Thomas Reeb now. He's got a lap and a half as they go through turn 3. And Di Matteo might have his work cut out for him in this last lap and a half to keep Thomas Reeb out. Onto the back straight for the second last time in anger. Everything she's got, and in a V8 supercar as they climb on the brakes there after the little bump at 270 k's an hour. Hard on the brakes, turning into the bank corner. Wolford might be battling a little bit with tyres there, I think. He's coming up on Bevan Schwartz now. Coming up on Bevan Schwartz now, is there a possibility for things to change up with 1 lap to go? They're going to start the final lap. Adlam going through there. Terry Wolford, fastest lap of the race at 12.6 with a lap to go. Could that be a little bit of indication as to what he wants to do here to Adlam? Is he close enough, and is the back marker going to help him out? There are lovely stuff. Great stuff there from Bevan Schwartz, just waving the 2 leaders through, realizing they're coming. And a little bit of experience there from the man based in East London, usually. This is a big race meeting in East London today, so he's given up that one and come to play with the national competitors. Great to have him here, though, and looking for a 7th place overall in his return to V8 Supercars. Right-hander through Car Care Clinic. I don't think Terry Wolford is going to be close enough here to make this pass move and get through on Mackie Adlam. Watch out for the back there. Looks like Thomas Reeb could be in contention for 3rd place. Top 2 go through, but I think there's a possibility that Reeb is going to have a go at the Italian Stallion. You might see it just in the background there. Nice shot here to see both of those battles. Look at that. Oh, they're side by side out of turn 5. Coming to the line. It's going to be a huge fight out for 3rd place as they go down towards turn number 1. Is it going to be the Italian Stallion? Yes, it is. Franco Di Matteo has just been able to keep out Thomas Reeb. So it's Adlam for the win. He came through as we were watching in the background for that battle between Di Matteo and Thomas Reeb. Terry Wolford takes 2nd. And the Italian Stallion, Franco Di Matteo, comes through for 3rd place, beating out Thomas Reeb and Warren Lombard for 5th place. Good drive from Kutsia, Bevan Schwartz, Sam Dahl, Duplessis and DeLange. Your top 10. Julian Familiaris with a little bit of issues there. And hopefully they can get that car sorted out for race number 2. Remember, race 2, an inverted grid. for the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. Look forward to that one a little bit later on. It's the last race of the day, which will probably be about 10 past 6 this evening, as opposed to what is scheduled on the publicized program from earlier on. Stand by. Thanks for that, Laren, catching up with Andrew Rackstraw after a double victory there in the Investchem Formula 1600s. We now get ready to go for race 2 of the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. As they make their way down the back straight, you can see the BMW pace car will just pull off to the sideline. Lights will come off that as they come out of Cape Town corner, and will be up to Bevan Schwartz. He'll be looking to set the pace at the front end, having been gifted the inverted grid pole position. Alongside him, Sam Dahl, looking for an opportunity to possibly run at the front as quickly and as high up as possible, for as long as possible as well. And he will be pushed hard by David Coetzee, who I'm sure will be looking to get to the front as quickly as possible. So will Warren Lombard. Time to form up. And this is how we're going to be doing things here. Looks right at the back. You've got Andre De Lange, who's not classified into the reverse grid, so he's going to have to start at the back of this pack of the rolling thunder of Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. And as they head down towards turn 1, it is Bevan Schwartz who drops the hammer and heads to turn 1 to try and get the whole shot. Sam Dahl is there with him, so is David Coetzee. Coetzee goes into turn 1 side by side, and look out for the Italian stallion. Franco Di Matteo is on the outside of Thomas Reeb. Reeb going at it. Oh, out of shape, Sam Dahl onto the dirty stuff. He gets completely lit up, and a little touch between himself and the Italian stallion. He came straight back onto the circuit and actually tagged the Italian stallion, Franco Di Matteo, as they went into the straight between 1 and 2. Fortunately, it didn't affect the car too much. Coetzee, as I said, would look to get to the front as soon as possible. He's done that, and Warren Lombard has followed him. So has Reeb. Here comes Terry Wolford diving on the inside of Bevan Schwartz, who gives him a little bit of room there in the Corvette. And there goes Di Matteo, just in the background, watching for Mackie Adlam, the man who's at the back of the pack after taking the race 1 victory, and he's bringing along Andre De Lange. Schwartz has fallen back to second last, and Sam Dahl, after that big incident between himself and the tag on the back end of the Italian stallion, is just pulled to the sideline and out of harm's way. Here comes Lombard. Lombard hits the front for the first time. Warren Lombard in the pace car rentals machine takes the lead, and on his inside, it's a hard charge coming out of the Chevrolet-powered Lumina of Thomas Reeb. Reeb into second. Here comes the Italian stallion, possibly for third place. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. He gets around the outside of David Coetzee and moves up 1 position. Coetzee now under pressure from Mackie Adlam as they head towards turn 1. So tight between these two drivers. And there we go. Coetzee demoted down. Terry Wolford is the only car who's not come through from the lead cars of the first race to get ahead. Oh, and Lombard off track as well. Lombard just runs completely wide off the circuit, catches the car fortunately, and still maintains. Is it second place? Yes. Oh! Touch between Lombard and the Italian stallion. The Deltec Batteries Jaguar, the second tag there from a Ford-powered machine. This time it was Warren Lombard trying to come back, and Lombard's got problems. Lombard has got some damage on that car. So it's Adlam who leads out now. There you can see the damage, beg your pardon, on that car, as he tagged the Italian stallion's Black Cat. And some big issues there between the two of them as they came into contact into turn 2. Tire wear and rubbing against the carbon fiber body of that car. And looks like Warren Lombard could have some problems. His hand goes up. Lombard could be out of this. So Reeb leads out. Second place is now Mackie Adlam, and only took him a lap and a half to get to second because of all the fracas that happened in front of him. It's Terry Wolford in third. Can Adlam catch Reeb, or is Reeb going to try and hang on for the first Chevrolet victory in a long, long time in Mobil 1 V8 Supercars? Across the line, another lap completed. We've got 6 to go. Unbelievable start to this one. Thomas Reeb, fastest lap of the race so far, 13.117, as he hangs on ahead of Mackie Adlam. Terry Wolford running wide now as well. This is a race of attrition here in the second one. The Fuchs Falcon fortunately able to get back on track, alliteration aside there, but he's got Coetzee hunting him down, and in the background, Andre De Lange in the Roofshoe car looking for a chance to get up there too. That's the third Jaguar on track there that De Lange pilots as he comes into turn 2. Leaders making their way out of turn 2, and Wolford spun out again. Terry Wolford has spun out for a second time. Oh, there is nightmare there for Wolford and for the Italian stallion, but he is pushing it to the limit. So Adlam now leads the charge to catch up to the leader of Thomas Reeb, and it's just the two of them, and they are now getting away at the front end. As they get down into the braking markers now, it's Adlam closing in on Thomas Reeb. Reeb soaking up the pressure for now. Cafe 9 Automotive in the house there, looking for a chance to possibly spoil the day here for Mackie Adlam's double victory if he's able to keep it all together. Is that going to be the case? Across the line, another lap completed. We're at the halfway stage, or just about to get to that halfway stage. Remember, it's an 8 lap and not a 10 and 12 lap that we had scheduled originally for these cars. Adlam with the fastest lap, 12.5 coming out of Adlam, so certainly a lot quicker than the 13.1 coming out of Reap. 0.6 of a second, and here come the flames. Big fire-breathing dragons of these V8s starting to put out those big flames out the side shafts and out of the exhaust pipes as they come under the downshifts for these incredible corners around Killarney. Terry Wolford has got a big problem. Wolford slowing up and pulling in the pit lane. Wolford's out of this. Can you believe it? This is certainly not what Terry Wolford wanted. And this is a big turnaround here for the V8 Supercars second heat. We do know that there is normally a race of attrition in the second one because they hold nothing back in the second race. The man on the move at this point, trying to recover after the incident between himself and Lombard, is, of course, Franco Matteo down in 5th place. He's got to get through on Andre De Lange. He's got to get through on David Coetzee before he can go and try and close things down. He's got through on De Lange. Makes his Jaguar the second cat on track now, as he gets through on the Roofsure XKR there of Andre De Lange. The first one is that one of Mackie Adams, but the lead car is a Chev-powered Lumina, and it looks like Thomas Reeve wants to try and hang on to it for the next at least 3.5 laps. On the brakes, and another big flame out of Adams' car as he comes under braking and trying to find a way past the Chevy Lumina from the Cafe 9 Automotive and Mobil 1 Chevrolet Lumina of Thomas Reeve. Adlam from Adlam Auto hanging on for a chance here for a double victory. Coetzee under pressure now from the Italian Stallion. In fact, no, he's not. The Italian Stallion is through and up to 3rd. But with only 3.5 laps, he's not going to have enough time to close down on the top 2. Battle for 4th and 5th continues between Coetzee and that fire-breathing cat out there in the hands of Andre De Lange. Coming up on Sam Dahl again and being lapped, staying out of harm's way. Already being involved in some of the incidents out there. So that's how things have turned around here in the second heat of the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. Back down to the start-finish line. Another lap down and 3 to go. Mackie Adlam now looking to make a move. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. Not this time out. Reeve sees him coming, just keeps him honest under the brakes. As I mentioned earlier on, these cars are so evenly matched in terms of straight line speed. Handling is pretty much almost on a par. It's the ability of the driver to outbrake the other driver that comes into play here. And they've got big lock diffs on these cars, able to do 140 kilometers an hour in first gear. And in full flight at East London Grand Prix circuit that we go to later on in the year. I think it's at the first weekend of July. It's sort of the 4th of July weekend, I think we go to East London. We get to see these cars going through rifle at over 300 k's an hour. Reeve hanging on. He's got 2 laps and a corner to go. And he's going to have to try and keep it all together to maintain the lead ahead of Mackie Adlam. Adlam, remember, is a multiple champion. 4 back-to-back championships for him. David Coetzee now under pressure from Andre De Lange. De Lange didn't have quite the start he wanted in race number 1. Didn't finish up exactly where he needs to be, but certainly a chance of 4th or 5th place here for Andre De Lange will be up for grabs, and he'll certainly be taking that if he can. David Coetzee is going to try and keep him out, though, as he comes through there in his Ford Falcon. They come under braking for turn 2. Adlam applying more pressure than ever before on the back end of Thomas Reeve. Thomas Reeve saying, no, you're not going to get through on me. You're going to have to work a lot harder to find a way past. Reeve, Adlam, and De Matteo. That's the top 3. De Matteo not even in sight after that incident between himself and Warren Lombard. Cafe 9 Automotive and Mobil 1 Chev Lumina takes on Adlam Auto Jag XKR. They come down onto the breakers once again. Second last time they'll be in anger down towards turn number 5, Fostron corner, Cape Town corner as it was previously known. As it goes into that corner, you can see Adlam looking for every opportunity he can, but Reeve just seems to be matching him for every chance he goes at. Trying to find a way through. Not an easy one to do that as they start the final lap. 1 to go for Reeve. Adlam, look at that. Oh, so late on the brakes from Mackie Adlam. Adlam now on the move. Is he going to have a go here into turn 2? He looks for the drive. And oh, Reeb sees him coming, shuts the door. Holds that inside line. Going to make Mackie Adlam drive around his outside. Going to make him work hard for this. Adlam sideways out of turn 2, lighting up those big tackies. As he comes out of turn 2, he's just trying everything he can. Oh no, De Lange goes off track. Down the main straightaway. That's a big one there for Andre De Lange. The Roofshaw Jaguar parking it on the sideline at the end of the start-finish line there on the dirty stuff. Onto the back straight for the last time. Can Adlam do anything here on the slipstream? If he's not close enough under brakes, there's only one opportunity for him, and that's to try and out-drag the Chev to the line. He's not close enough under brakes here. Looks like Reeb might be able to hang on. Thomas Reeb coming out of the final corner. Going into the little right-hand flick. And now into the left one. They come out of that. Here we go. De Lange's car on fire on the sideline, but the fireworks are all done as Thomas Reeb takes the second victory of the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars here ahead of Mackie Adlam. Franklin Mateo survives a battle-scarred Black Cat Deltec Jaguar. Come through for third place. There he is, the Italian stallion, still able to salvage a podium there for his team. David Coetzee in fourth place and Bevan Schwartz in fifth. Andre De Lange on the sideline might still be classified there in the sixth spot, although you can see the smoking Jaguar on the right-hand side of our checkered flag man there. Looks like his car just bursting into flames there down the straight, which is why he pulled straight to the sideline and out of harm's way. May need a little bit of time to recover that vehicle. It's not too far from the pit exit, so he could be able to be pulled back into the pit exit without too much ado. So it's Thomas Reeb with the victory over Mackie Adlam and Franklin Mateo, David Coetzee and Bevan Schwartz, your top 5. The pole man eventually coming through for fifth place after a bit of a race of attrition there in the second heat of the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars.